Hello everybody, this is Sonia. I'm in Australia and I've got something I'm going to do here today. I'm going to do something with this. Okay, so the idea now is that I'm going to turn this down, right, and stitch it. This is finishing this piece right for the show. But I have to finish sewing down on the inside of here first, and I can do this by hand because I'm sure I can do it by hand. So I'm going to sew the rest of this first. I might get a piece of pink thread now instead of, I don't know why I took that out of there. I should have kept that, I suppose. I'm going to put this around here. Down to the bottom. I'm going to sew this down to the bottom because I want to take a bit off it. Actually, I've got enough just here beside me somewhere that I can use to make the tabs out of, because I'm going to make some tabs. Just threading my needle here. Wait a minute. Nobody panic. I'm fair here. I've got it. Now, here it is. This bit. I'll have to pick up, I've got a box of beads here, I don't know why. I might sit them down there. I'll show you what I'm doing. Just give me a second till I get this piece of material. Righto. Now, this is the piece I'm doing to put in the show. I've got a bit extra there. This is the one that's going to be a bag, okay? I think I really like that. That's going to be a bag. I've got too much on there, but I've got enough for the back and the bit. I think I talked about having to get that bit. Right, now, having to get the inside for that. Now I have these bits here. I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew down here first. Make sure it's really good, so you can't see it won't come undone. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start. I would have my machine in here. I'll keep on talking about it. And I still haven't got it in here. I don't know. Hubby went away this morning up the street, so I didn't have a chance to get him to get in here. And then once I get in here, I don't like to be disturbed. As far as when I say disturbed, I don't want to be doing anything else. Is what I'm saying. I want to do what I'm doing, and that's it. You know, I get on like a duck. I'm on a one-way road, and I just like to do what I'm doing. And then if I started out fixing that corner up there or that piece, so I can use it, it'd be all right. But I haven't. I started out sewing and I wanted to keep doing that. If I do the corner, I won't be able to do it tomorrow. I've got to go out tomorrow, as far as I know, because the weather's got so much better. Oh dear, I'm so pleased. But I've got to be, I don't want to be too pleased now. Hubby's got his vegetables. Now I don't know how far, because we don't want them to grow too far in the next 2 weeks. They've got to just stay right. I have to measure to see how far I've got to go down here. Now I've done 2 rows, so it shouldn't come undone, I hope. Now I've been going to do this for so long, I don't know how many times I have taken this out to the lounge room to finish this, and I can't sit there and do it for some reason. It just doesn't come to me to do it. You know what I mean? You've got to be in the right state of mind. And this morning I've been doing a real lot in here today as far as videos go. I've done a few videos, so I come in here about past 8 this morning so I could get a start. And I'm doing this all back to front. I mean, you probably would have sewed all this down here first before you went any further, Sonia, wouldn't you? And I can't show you the little tab things either that I'm going to put on here. So we're going to just keep going. I did this because I needed to know if it was going to fit. So that's why I rushed and just put a bit of it in I'm going to put a bit of it on there. I don't know how long it's going to have to be now. No way. This way, look. Because I'm going to have what I didn't realise or didn't know how much to the top here was going to be showing. Okay. So now I need to trim this off. And I do not want to go too... Didn't want to go wrong. I do not want to go wrong. So I'm going to come down here a little bit further. Okay. So now we can imagine, right, that we want to put... I'll go over this way a bit. Now, I need to have about that much at the top, okay? I need that much at the top. And down the bottom here, I'm going to put a mark because I want to cut it then a little bit longer. Do you think? Okay. Right. Don't unthread that. Okay, righto. So we got that out of there. Yeah, we try not to cry if I make a mistake. Where is the mark? On the other side. Okay, righto, turn it over. This is not how... This wouldn't be the way to do this, okay? If you wanted to do it, you can just watch what sort of a state I've got myself into. But I needed to know with the... Yes, well, I've unthreaded the needle. Crikey only knows where it is. I guess I'll find it in my finger in a minute. Move that bit out of the way. I need that later. Right, now, we need to cut across there. Where would you find a ruler, Sonia? Somewhere around here? Yeah, good. Now, I only put the timer on for 25 minutes, so once it tells me about the time's up, I'm going to still keep going if I'm enjoying this, okay? If I'm going to go along all right, I'll keep going. I'll try and cut this without making too much of a mistake. Got it caught underneath. Brilliant. Have I got two pieces? Yeah. Well, that I chopped that. That's not very nice, but anyway, I need that bit. I do have a lot of these. Goodness me, this is fray, isn't it? It'll be on the inside. Nobody's going to see any of that, so you don't worry about that. Where's the needle? I hope I don't make it in the thing. You'd be hoping I don't make it in there, wouldn't you? leave it stuck in there. Okay, so that should have ironed down. That would have been a better idea if it had it done. So I'm going to take this back through here, over this way again, and do my top bit, I think, before I put the base in it. Oh, don't pull that off there. Goodness me, lady. I think this is the needle over here. I do. There it is. Righto. Now, put it down in there, because I'm going to need that in the base of it, aren't I? So that should be right. Is that right? Hope so. What I need to make sure is, see, I've got it right at the top, because then I can fix the bottom whichever way I like. Right, now I have some little tabs, some little gold things. Now whether I'm going to put them on here or not now I don't know, because I wanted to use some of this to make the handle for it, which I can probably use that piece for the base. This could be the handles if I made them like so, because they'd be finished off properly. Now, do I put one on from there to there, which I think I will? I don't think I need more than one, because in the inside at the bottom I have this ice cream container lid piece, and in there, that'll go in there. Well, I hope so, or maybe it needs to be bigger. Maybe I need to use a bigger piece. I will sort that out. I bought the ones that are leather, but I don't really want to put it in there because they won't be able to see it, because this is going to have padding on both sides. But I'm going to have to make it a bit bigger. It's not quite big enough. Okay, so that's the tricky part, trying to get that bottom bit done, I'm telling you now. And this here, I couldn't figure out for the life of me how I was going to do this. But if I work out that this is going to be the front of the bag, well, the main front, because there's the whole thing's good all around, isn't it? Now this is good, is it, the seam? Yep. The seam looks really good. I'm not going to have to worry about that. I'm going to get some pins, maybe some pins or some clips, and pin this around so it is level all the way. So it's pretty much turning back to where the seam is from that bit, you know, because you've got to, and that makes that pretty thick. So I'm pretty much doing that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stitch around this, and I'm going to, I've got some pink, and then I'm going to put this on the inside. But I need to figure out what I'm going to put over the pieces for this, the handle. The bottom bit's going to be a tiny bit tricky. I really can't just leave it flat. It needs to have a shape to it. You know, it sort of can't sit. It'll look better if it's sitting like that, won't it? You know, that's going to be the, well, hang on. Well, it will look better if it's sitting up like that. It's a vessel now, but it will be a bag. So, oh dear, I love the work on this. It's inspiring me to get on with it. Now, of course you can see that there too, the join. I was thinking about putting this on the outside as well, trying to cover that over. Would I have enough to go around twice? 2, 3, 4. So that means I have to put it around twice, doesn't it? On the inside and the outside. So if you were doing this, would you put the handle over? So we need to turn this over, and even if it's only that wide, it doesn't need to be really big, does it? I bought handles, but they don't suit it. You know, they just don't suit it. It's not the thing, and they really can't go on the outside. They have to go on the inside. Is that right? Let's stitch this down and see what happens then. Okay. So I'm going to come up underneath there. I can put a flower on that. I could put a flower on there, couldn't I? You don't have to be too worried about what's going to happen with that. So what I did was, when I was making this, it was sort of one small piece. And something said, Sonia, put them together. So I did. And I think you can see where they join. There's I don't want to show you that, like you can. And therefore then I had no idea what I was going to do with it next. Now, even if I decided I might want to put a bit of, I was going to pin this, but I'm going to eyeball it and make sure that I just get it right, okay? Just make sure, and even if I'm just picking up the top, whoops, I'm not going right through it. but I should do. Because how's it going to stay shut if you don't, Sonia? Okay. Because I'm going to go around the inside with this then. Cover over whatever I put. So I'm going to have to stab stitch this then. I don't want big stitches though, but so this is going to be a little time, and that's okay. It'll take a little while. Oh goodness me, my face is itchy, my nose is scratching me, everything's scratching me. It happens though, I suppose. I get in here and everything starts to get fluffy or whatever. I've got to make sure that I'm going to be able to cover that on the inside. I want to make sure I haven't got too big of stitches on there. That I can't cover it up with this. Because I don't like... That can go around in there. Righto. That'll look good, won't it? Yes. Okay, we can do that. So something's gone skew with here. I'm going to make sure that I don't go skew with. I had 12 months to make this. 2 weeks before the show, I'm still putting it together. Don't think I've done anything on it, only put this bit in the inside to try and figure out what to do with it, because that was my main issue. I couldn't work out what I was going to do with it because I wasn't planning it from the beginning. I have a bad habit of doing that, not planning things from the beginning. Not good. I hope this works. Start planning from the beginning, Sonia. I think I might get my hubby to come in here and I'll write him a note to tell him. Oh no, I'll tell him where it is. If you'll excuse me, I'm still here, but if I knock, sometimes he comes to see what I'm doing. He might have went outside. Ah. He must have went outside. Right. I'll just try one more time with something a bit heavier. Here he comes. Can you come here? I need you to get something for me out on the table out there where my computer is. There's those little they're gold little things you put on the bag handles. There's still be 4 there if you can find one, that'll do. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. But I need to get an idea. And maybe he's going to help me with the idea. He's going to help me. I'm thinking about putting a stitch across the top of that. I think I moved them things too, you know, because isn't that terrible? I can't believe that I did. Oh, here he comes. He must have them. That's good. He must have them. You found them. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I need 4, but that's okay. I only need this now. Thank you. So these are the things. So what you have to do, though, first is have it fastened onto there with something, don't you? I'll explain that a bit better. Should be able to, I hope. Right, so I'm not looking at this the right way, am I? Because I have to put this onto the bag with this bit, like that, don't I? Or is that how I fasten the handle on? But then you got to fasten that on first, don't you? Don't you have to fasten the tab on and then put the handle through that? Well, that's going to be a lot of fiddling, isn't it? Right. That's not what I had in planned. That's not what I had planned. I was going to say in mind and planned at the same time. It's not good when you start saying 2 words at once. Other people have told me they do it too, so you try to say one thing and something else comes out. Well, that's probably not what I was envisioning at all, really. What am I going to do? How am I going to make this look like it's supposed to? More than a bag. Because I couldn't make it into anything else. I couldn't take it apart. I thought about doing that, but I can't because it's going to ruin all this good work. I can't take it apart, you know, to redo it into something, turn it into something else. I keep getting these things caught all the time because everything's hanging about me there. I'm going to have to see if I can press this down too really good, that bit on the inside. Righto. You wouldn't think that it'd be so hard to come up with the idea that you're going to do this. But I just don't know what to do. I need to make it look like it was supposed to be, what all of it's supposed to happen, like it did. You know, it needs to look like that, doesn't it? I'm pleased about this bit. I'm happy with this bit because I'm going to cover this bit either with a fancy stitches or could put beads around the top of it, I suppose. Something, but I need to figure out the handle idea. And if you've got any ideas there for me, just let me know. Gee, that's not good. There's a bit there, there's loose. Look at that. I'll tuck him up under there. Hide the... I wonder why that come undone. It must have got caught on something. I've had to take some pills for my inflammation in my body, and it's given me stomach, Larry do. The ibuprofen things, I've had to be taking some of them just over the last few days, and they do give your stomach what for, don't they? They're not supposed to be good for your tummy. It's given me a hard time this morning. But anyway, I'll be right on home so I have some lunch. Seems to settle down then, but I'm not going to... I only take them if I have to. I've been trying to move my arm more because I didn't want to get it seized up, because that's what was happening. And then when I went to move it, it was hurting dear badly. So I talked to the physio. I don't know if I told you this, I probably did, and he told me that I should move her. There's a different physio person, which was really good, because the first one was... he was okay, I suppose, but... I don't know why the doctors don't tell you what these things, when these things are happening, what they're supposed to. She could have told me a bit more in the first place, helped me with it, but sent me to the physiotherapist, I suppose, because that's what they do. I suppose that's their job. How do I tell you this? My daughter has a tumour, and it affected her hormones really seriously, and they didn't know that this was why. She had a few issues. One of them being that she never got her monthly things since she was only really, well, she was young. She only got it a couple of times. Now she's 30 something, and then she had more issues, so she had to go and have these tests done. She rang me up the other day, all excited, because she's got it now, and that means the tumour is shrinking. Isn't that good? Oops. And so she was so excited about it, poor thing. I don't know, us women, I don't think we're ever excited about that. Only the fact that if we got that, if we weren't trying to get pregnant, we didn't get it. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, and I'm sorry if it's too personal, but she was excited, the poor thing, and I understand, and she said it was really good, and I said, all right, oh, that's okay, you know. Couldn't really talk to her like she was 14. It was a bit hard at whatever age they are now. I think they're a bit younger now. Seems weird, that, doesn't it? But anyway, all you ladies will understand what I'm saying. And for you men that are watching, well, you probably don't need to know anyway. All I know is that it's shrinking that tumour, so they won't be operating on her at all there. So that's good. She does still have a little issue with her lungs because she's really a bad asthmatic and that. But if they can fix it, which she said she's been a lot better. Her breathing has been a real lot better because she has to test it all the time. Her, you know, how much air you're getting. There's a thing you can do that with. And she's checking that, so she said she was really good the other day, so that was good. So the doctor might be just keeping himself to himself now. He won't be doing any operations or things on her, so that's good. I hope, because both of them I'd say be a bit tricky, wouldn't they? In any part of you would be. And the brain one was a really scary thing. And I'm really pleased that she went to that man. You know, he went to... Well, the first man was to do with her hormones and, you know, specialist in that. And they found the tumour. Of course, he was very concerned and thought it had to be got rid of, you know. So he sent it to the man that said, no, it's okay, we're not touching that. We're going to shrink it. So that was good. Maybe a good outcome for her, I think. Thank you to everybody for your well wishes on that, because it was really kind of you. She's off somewhere today. She'll probably be home by now, but she's off out of town somewhere. They were going to taking the kids to do some sport. Her and a friend. They're not her children, they're a friend's children, but they're her children too, you know what I mean? How people get like that. They're everybody's children. Okay, so that's okay. You think that looks all right? I do think it looks okay. Now, I might have a quick drink of water and just try and see what I can do with this handly bit. Because we know we're going to cover that, don't we? We know we're going to cover that. Bit of stitching, and that'll mean just me going around there and stitching that to it to finish it off properly. And it can also be around the outside if I want to do that. And I think that'll look good. Go on that with that. I suppose I could have put it on while I was doing it, but I'm thinking too that I might need to cover however this goes on first. Now, I don't know how I'm going to come up with this idea, everybody. I just don't know. I just don't know, mate. So I don't know at all what I'm going to do. I do know about the bottom. I can sew around the bottom. And I'll just take that off there. Bit of string, thread. I can stitch that. I have no concerns about that. And I'm going to cut a piece, of course, to go onto there, the bottom bit. That'll be turned over and cut onto, where's my round? Actually, that, I don't know why that doesn't fit today. I thought it did yesterday. Thought it did. I thought it fit. I'm not going to know until I try to sew it in there, am I? Hey? Is this a silly thing to do? Should I put just a base in it first and then push that down in there? Maybe I should. So I've got to figure out how to cut this to the right size. Okay, that should be fun. I'm going to cut this bit off here first. So I've got this bit here that I've... This is off a curtain or something, or a tablecloth or something. It was a new thing anyway. It was like second hand, but... And it's supposed to be... No, the shiny side's not necessarily supposed to be out. There's a curtain, look at that. Here comes this bit, you can see that. It's a curtain. Okay. Okay, that's a... Is there a washer in there? There's something in there, is there? See, sometimes they do put these things in these things, so things in the things. Nope. I used to make these curtain things. I made the curtains. It was one of my jobs when I was only young. One of my jobs. I used to make a lot for me a house too once. I was always changing them, but that gets old and you think, oh, that's enough of that. Now I've got to make sure that I cut this big enough to go around this bit. So this is going to be tricky. Do we know how to do this, everybody? Hey everybody, do we know how to do this? I learned to do all this stuff. I went and learned to do all this sort of things years and years and years ago. Maybe not this, what I'm doing though. It was not as informative as it should have been in the class, I don't think. So what I'm going to do is first, I'll use that as a template to do the piece that I'm going to cut out. Only I'm going to make it a tiny bit bigger, just so we can... just watch that clock a minute. Just so I can use that for... I'm going to just draw around the edge of this on the outside. Sort of, hopefully it's oval shape. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Now I'm going to cut that out. At least with you helping me today, I've gone a lot further than what I would have done before. Got a lot further, so I'm going to make this a bit bigger, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to cut it bigger, but I'm just using that as a guide because I don't want to not have enough. But I've got more fabric. If I've got to redo this, I've got more fabric. So this is what I need to do next, isn't it? Put this on the base, and then I can put on some fluffy bit if I want to, and put that bit there in there, piece of stuff. But if I cut this big enough, I'm hoping, and I can pin it in there, and it's going to fit. We'll see what happens, eh? Nobody panic. I've got a needle and cotton. No cotton on it. Wait a minute. I'm going to need the pins first. Oh, wait a minute. What was that? Saw something falling down here. Wasn't? Oh, it was only that little thing. Right, now. So this is the base of it, right? So somehow I've got to get this in that hole there, because that should be... Is this bit right? Yes. So when you go like that, that all fills that in, doesn't it? So that's fine. So we can start here with a pin. We can start with a pin if we can find the pins. I should have some in a tin somewhere, shouldn't I, for easy access, but I don't. I've got them here under this kerfuffly stuff here. Right, I'm going to do it this way, am I? Pin it that way. Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to see what's going on when I get it to there. So I'm going to just start off by using the bit thick. The fabric's a bit thick. Right. Here's one. You move over that way, and you there. Okay. Come down along here. Now I've got to realise too that I've got to be careful I don't put any. This is not going to work. Who's doing this the hard way? I don't want to put any. Sonia, this is not going to work. You can't do that like that because it's. Righto. I should have put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in it and see if it'll go round. And then if it does, I'm going to put some stitches in it because that'll be the easiest way to do it. So we'll go along here, and we'll go around there, and go along here, and go around there. Hang on to it, hang on to it. Go around here. Go around here. I need to do it the inside, in the other way. Stop laughing at me. I don't blame you. Dear, oh dear. Okay. I swear I never did anything before like this in my life, wouldn't you? But I don't think I have done this sort of thing. I don't think so. Is this going to work this way? I don't know. I've got nothing. I can't be sure. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. I need to put the circle inside this, don't I? So the circle needs to go in there, like that. Okay, is that right? Yes, because you can't get it in there any other way. You're going to have this seam is going to have to be there. If you put it in another way, it's not going to work. You're going to do it this way, Sonia. You're going to have a seam on it, which is not good because I didn't want it. Didn't want that. This is not what I was aiming for. If you go in here like this, right, and you pin it this way, go around here, it's going to have a seam. Oh dear, I didn't want the inside seam. Hang on. Take it back out, you reckon? Right. Then get just this bit. Not that bit, just this bit. Just this bit. But how am I going to do that? If I put this in here, how am I going to get that to go over there? I'd say you could do it, you just have to figure it out. I reckon you could turn it, make it, leave an opening, okay? Leave an opening in it. In the inside, Sonia. In the inside, Sonia. You're doing it wrong again. It's got to go there. There's two sides together. You haven't got this one down far enough. Goodness me. Look, there's two insides together. You're going to have a hole somewhere where you can get it through. I might open up the side there. That's what I'll do. I'll open that side bit up and get it through if I got to. But then what do I do about this? Right. I know how to do the lining. I wanted to do the whole thing at the one time. Can I do that? I think so. Don't you reckon? I'll do 5 more minutes on here. I hope this doesn't go over time, because then it'll break into 2 and I don't want to do that. Don't want to break in 2. Okay. Try this again by putting And that interfacing stuff's lifting up there. So. Right, I want to do the whole thing together. That's why I started pinning that on the outside, isn't it? Because and if I pin it on the inside, that's why I started doing it around the outside. But you can't do that. There's no way that would work, is there? No? Yes? I don't know. Is there a way to work that? It's got to go in here. It's got to go in there. That. Oh dear. Oh dear, I don't know what I'm doing here. If I did that, and I turned the thing in the other way, oh God. Oh, how about we just put this on this part, right? Okay. Let's try that. Just put this on this part. And then what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's see. I've got to quickly dip around here. Oh, 5 more minutes. Could be 5 more minutes. Come on. There must be 5 more minutes left on that thing. Before it tips over. I am recording. Oh, good. Good. Am I going right this time? No, because that's going to be, the shiny bit's going to be on the inside, and you don't want that. You want the shiny bit on the outside. You want the dull bit on the inside, so you turn it that way, and the dull bit will be on the inside. We're going to get this in a minute, by geez, we are. I tell you what, I bet you this is really easy. I just can't work it out for some reason. I just can't work it out, and that's the thing. I've been thinking about it and not actually doing anything really successful with it. Okay, keep this one. That's pulled down far enough. I will be doing this by hand because I don't want it to go really skew-whiff, and it probably will if you're doing it on the machine. It might get all over the place. What am I doing? I haven't got hold of it. I'm doing the wrong thing. Oh, I'm doing it wrong again. Oh dear. Sonia, move that bit. Right. Now start again. Put this onto here. Maybe I need to put 2 things of that on. That first, right? 2 things, two layers of this. So this will be the one that's in the bottom of the bag, that you can see. Okay. Now that's not going to work because it's too long. Off there. Righto. Around this way. Around this way. I have made wedding dresses, bridesmaids' dresses, people's clothes, doll houses, fairy houses, you name it. You'd think I could construct the bottom of a bag, wouldn't you? You would think that I could construct the bottom of a bag. This is a bit dodgy looking, but I'm thinking I'm just going to keep going until I figure out what to do with this, and then I'll stitch it, but I'll do it nicely, don't you worry. Don't you worry, I'll get it nicely stitched as soon as I can figure out how's it going to go. Where are you? Come here. If it's going to fit in there, hope it does. Might have to make it smaller in some places and bigger in other places, I don't know yet. If it's going to go round here, this is what we're trying, aren't we? See if it's going to work. Well, it's looking like it could. My goodness me, it is looking like it could. Oh. Now, if everybody could please watch my ads, please don't skip me. It's taking away my money. I only get a tiny bit of money each month. It averages between $100 and $120, I suppose. it's not very big earnings, but it's something that helps me a bit. Look at that. It was the right size. It's the right size if I stick to that bit. I hope it's not going to be too wonky, but now, if I put that in there, it's in the bottom, isn't it? And all I have to do then is put another piece after I've put that in there, and it'll work, won't it? Look. Now all I've got to do is sit down quietly and make sure that when I put this on, it's not skew-whiff. It's not too good, but I don't want it to be weird when I sit it down. I don't want it to be, off thing. What do you reckon? So this bit's got to be really good. This part can't be mucked up in any way whatsoever. So all I do is just make sure that I've got it nice and tidy, and go round and stitch it around. If I stick to that blue line, I might be right. If I can stitch it at that blue line, that could make it work. What do you reckon? So that's going to be the way to do it, isn't it? And then I have to have another piece that I'm going to stitch to that bit. I'm going to say another piece that I'm going to stitch to this bit after I put some padding and the stiffening in there, if I decide to still go with that if I need it. Okay? Thank you for watching. I'm really pleased I got that bit done, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.